In this game, Magnus is black, I think for the first time in this selection, and I picked it for two reasons. We see a very nice mate attack in this game, and his opponent is Jon Ludvig Hammer, a very young Jon Ludvig Hammer, who is currently number 2 in Norway, obviously behind Magnus, and is a Grandmaster of 2,700 ELO nowadays. I think 2,700 he has. So he also became a very, very strong player. H3, the position after White's 8th move. Magnus played knight H5, increasing the pressure on D4, and White now took on E5. And yeah, first move for you to find: how does Black seize the initiative in this position? White has taken on E5. What would you do as Black here? Yep, a very good intermediate move. The Black Knight occupies a very strong outpost in front of White's king and attacks White's hanging bishop on D3. Yeah, after knight F4, Black has a very nice initiative. Oops. After D takes E5, Magnus played knight F4. A very strong intermediate move. It just hits the White's bishop on D3, and well, if in the game White now played bishop E5, if he goes, say, knight to B3 or something like that, Black can simply take on D3. Well, let's just play this. Knight takes D3, and now take on E5, and Black has the bishops. What more do you want as Black in this type of position? Clearly, slightly better for Black. So White tried to keep the bishop. He went bishop B5. Magnus now took on E5. Knight takes E5, and you are to move again. What did Magnus play in this position after knight takes E5? Queen G5, yet another strong intermediate move. Black threatens checkmate by queen takes G2, and White has nothing better than knight G4, and after queen takes B5, then Black is clearly better. Queen G5, and now we see how strong such an outpost, such a knight on F4 can be. After knight takes E5, Black played a very strong intermediate move, Queen G5, which is very much in line with his previous intermediate move, knight F4. Checkmate threatened on G2, also captures on H3. White blocked the G file, playing knight G4, and now Black simply took on B5, White's bishop, and Black has achieved a lot here. He has conquered the bishop pair, and he's got active pieces, knight on F4. Also his bishops are very nice here. Queen on B5 is active. So clearly slightly better for Black again, I think. White now went knight B3, hitting this knight on F4. Magnus checked on E2, king H1, and now Magnus took on G4, and H takes G4. Yeah, what would you do now? Two continuations for choice here. Would you play rook to E8, just hitting this pawn on E4, or would you be slightly concerned about this knight E2? Because if White plays bishop E3, this knight E2 hasn't got a square left, so it might get trapped. Bishop E3 and rook E1, for example. So, would you play rook E8 here, or would you take on C1? Rook E8, rook 8 to E8, or knight takes C1. What do you think Magnus played in this position? Rook e8, you suggest. Absolutely right. Very, very well seen. There's no need for black to fear bishop e3. And have you seen that black, by playing rook a to e8, is starting a mate attack? He threatens mate in 4, in fact. The game will be over in 4 moves. So rook e8 is a very strong move. Sly move. Magnus simply played rook to e8, hitting the pawn on e4. And yeah, white replied bishop e3, and bishop e3 in fact is a grave mistake. Bishop e3. White must play a4 here, definitely. a4, hitting black's queen. Black's queen must keep this knight e2 protected, so it must go to a6 or c4. Black is fine after that, better, but at least white does not get checkmated. Yes, white will get checkmated in this game. Bishop e3 is what he did. Now, rook takes e4, rook e1, and now black to play and win. What did he do? What did Carlsen do now? Yep, queen h5 check, and white resigned, because after pawn takes h5, he checkmates with rook h4, and now we see how useful this knight on e2 is. It takes away the square g1 from white's king, which was not so easy to see maybe when black started this combination, playing rook e8 in fact, but this knight on e2 is very useful. A very short game of 2 very, very strong players and young players. Okay, I hope you liked it. Next game.